On a long enough timeline, you can get any woman. Today, we're going to talk about how timing plays a very big part in whether you get a girl or don't end up getting her. So, this saying, on a long enough timeline, you can get any woman, comes from another dating coach. His name is Hypnotica. So, credit to him for this. So, what does it mean on a long enough timeline? I believe I can get any woman. What that means is that when you play this game, you come to realize that a lot of times, whether you get a girl or end up not getting her, comes down to timing. So, what does timing mean? It means that maybe you meet Sarah at a time where she just broke up with her boyfriend and now she's not looking for a relationship and she just wants to have some casual sex to get over her ex. Well, if you meet her at that time, you're going to be able to probably hook up with her pretty easily because of the timing of what she's looking for when you meet her. Obviously, you also have to be her type, blah, blah, blah. But let's assume that she likes you, she's attracted to you, and you're her type. If you meet Sarah at that time, you'll get Sarah for a casual relationship. Now, let's say on another parallel universe, you meet Sarah, but this time she has a boyfriend. Well, in this instance, she may find you attractive, but you're not going to get her because she has a boyfriend. In another parallel universe, maybe you meet Sarah a week after her dad died. Well, again, because of the fact that something really bad happened in her life, maybe you won't get that particular girl, Sarah in this case, because of the timing. So, here are a few points to realize when you're in this game. The best thing, the most helpful thing to realize about a lot of getting a girl versus losing a girl comes down to timing, is that way every time you don't succeed in getting a woman, you're not so hard on yourself and you realize, okay, you know what? Everybody is dealing with their own life situation, and the fact that I didn't get this girl doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not good enough, I'm not attractive, whatever. Maybe it was just not the right timing. Okay? So that's going to help take a load off your back. Now, another thing that's very helpful with the mindset from Hypnotica, which is I believe that on a long enough timeline I can get any woman, is the following. Another thing that I realized while being in this game is that just because you don't get a girl now, let's say in January, it doesn't mean you're not going to end up getting her maybe in September, or maybe next year in January, or maybe 3 years down the line in March. Okay? So what I realized is with the women that I'm attracted to, but I didn't get them, maybe the timing was off, or maybe they got the first wrong impression about me or whatever. Well, just because I didn't get her at that time, I don't just completely give up and say, okay, I'm never going to be able to get that girl. What I do, and this is key, when a woman declines your invitation, when she, don't use the word rejection, okay? You hardly ever really get rejected. It's usually the woman says, okay, what you want and what I want isn't the same, okay? So if a woman declines your offer or doesn't reciprocate the interest in that moment, always react positively, okay? Don't get upset. Just be like, okay, it's cool, right? It's cool, okay. I still think you're beautiful. I'm still a big fan, okay? And then you remain nice to her. You may remain in a bit of contact with her or not, or maybe you guys bump into each other every 3 months or something. But don't change how kind and nice you are towards her just because she said no. And what I found is that with a lot of women, if they see that, okay, you know what, Jad tried to get me, but for whatever reason, I wasn't ready for him or I said no to him, but now 3 months later, 5 months later, 2 years later, he's still being the same charming, playful, kind person to me. Well, now my circumstances have changed. It's 9 months later and my circumstances have changed. And then, I'm speaking as the woman now, the woman goes into her Rolodex, her imaginary Rolodex of guys that liked her and showed interest, and she's like, oh wait, last January, Jad showed interest in me. Okay, and now the timing is I'm looking for a guy. Okay, maybe I'll hit up Jad, right? And so sometimes I get a random text message from a girl, which is not random at all. Usually, if you get a random text message from a girl, she looked up her imaginary Rolodex, remember that you're one of the guys that's interested in her, and now her timing is right for her to hook up with you, and so she'll reach out. Okay, and don't depend on her reaching out. Sometimes you'll bump into each other, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is I've gotten some women, not the first time, but because I didn't change my attitude towards them, 9 months later, 2 months later, 9 months later, 1 year later, I think there was one woman was around 4 or 5 years later, I ended up getting her just because I just maintained that positive attitude towards her. And basically, your attitude is like, oh, you're not ready now? Okay, fine. Well, I'm a fan. If you ever get ready, if you ever become ready, I'm here, right? So, side note, that does not mean that never give a woman an impression that you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting for her. That's not what I'm saying, okay? When I let a woman know, hey, you know what? Okay, you're not ready. That's fine, sweetheart. I'm a big fan, okay? But she knows that, okay, I'm moving on to other girls, okay? So she knows that, okay, I said no to Jad, and now Jad is going and dating all these other girls. He's not waiting for me. See? So that's another important distinction. So, now, is the statement on a long enough timeline you can get any woman, is that true absolutely 100%? Maybe, maybe not, right? Maybe, maybe not. But it is very true. Okay, so I won't say that it's an absolute truth, but it has proven to be very, very true a lot of the times. If you're just cool and stay open and let the woman know, like, hey, if you change your mind and I'm still single down the line, I'm one of your open doors, one of your opportunities. Okay? So, with all of that, that should help you in the game. Don't take it personally when a woman says no. A lot of times it just comes down to timing. Maintain a positive attitude towards that woman that said no or declined your offer, because in the future, there is a high possibility if she finds herself single and lonely, she's going to hit you up, the guy that expressed interest in her and also showed her that when she said no, he didn't turn sour on her. That's huge, okay? A master seducer, someone who's good in this game, a real man, doesn't get upset when a woman says no, okay? Never get upset when a woman says no. That is amateur hour, okay? Nothing screams needy and weak and clueless than getting upset when a woman says no. You're just putting out invitations, you're expressing interest, and you never change how you're acting towards a woman, whether she says yes or no. You're giving her positive vibes nonetheless, and on a long enough timeline, you'll be surprised to see that some women who said no, well, have their life circumstances change, the timing change, and they'll hit you up. So, let me know what you think about this concept. On a long enough timeline, I believe I can get any woman. Let me know how that helped. If you want to learn how to attract the women that you're truly attracted to, jump over to jadtjones.com. I've put together a free masterclass for you with the 5 shifts you need to make to get your dream girlfriend. So go over to Jad T. Jones and check it out. Peace.